Welcome to Word Dependent. My name is Dan, and this is a podcast for Christians and people interested in the Christian faith. We want to encourage you to strengthen your faith in Jesus with information and stories of faith that will help you walk more closely with Him. So I want to talk to you today about what Word Dependent is and where this podcast is coming from. So several years ago, I was watching a pastor on TV, and he was talking about being word dependent. And as I listened to him, I thought that was a cool idea. As a Christian man, I thought, this living word dependent, he explained, was living for Jesus Christ, dependent on Jesus Christ. And some scriptures that I want to share that have become meaningful to me are living life word dependent. So in John 1:1, it says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." That Word that they're talking about there is Jesus. And in John 1:14, it says, "And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we have seen His glory, glory as of the only Son from the Father, full of grace and truth." And then this podcast, one of the verses I'm kind of hanging on to for that, as far as where the podcast is coming from, is from Revelations 12:11. It's talking about where the believers are being accused. The accuser is accusing the believers before God Himself. And it says, and they conquered him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony, for they loved not their lives unto death. They loved not their own lives unto death. So those are three of the verses that this podcast is being based on. But as far as word dependent, what I did with that after I heard this pastor talking was, at the time I ran a screen printing business, and so I came up with several ideas and sketches and stuff on paper. I thought I was going to print some Christian T-shirts, and so I threw down these ideas on paper. And I'm not an artist by any means, so I hired a graphic artist to help me develop the ideas, and we came up with some cool stuff. I thought she did a real good job, and we never really sold any T-shirts, but we still have some really cool designs, so maybe that's something we'll get into someday, but that's not the point here now. But we thought we were going to sell some Christian T-shirts, and that never really took off. And so I was going through some, living life and going through things, and this word dependent thing, it hadn't left my mind. It stayed there, and I'd think about it, and I'd tell every people once in a while in conversation if it came up about these Christian T-shirts that I thought I had, and these designs and how they were cool and stuff, but never did anything with it. So I felt probably about 7 or so years ago, God saying, you need to talk about this with people. And I started a YouTube channel and created some videos. And I did, 25 or 30 videos, I think, something like that. And the YouTube channel never really took off. I had a few people watch kind of regularly, but nothing really ever happened with it. So I just kind of let that go. And at the same time that I did the YouTube channel, I created an Instagram page or account for just to kind of promote the YouTube channel. And I was just using it and creating little slides or pictures or whatever they are with Bible verses on them. And so I just, like I said, putting Bible verses on there and stuff. And I did it, for a few months. And one day I noticed, surprisingly, people were watching it. People were checking it out and following it and commenting on things. And it slowly started to grow, and eventually got up to about 3,000 followers, which I thought was pretty good. And then as life was going on, I kind of let the YouTube channel go away because nobody was paying attention to it as far as I could tell. And I put a little more effort into this Instagram page. And like I said, it got up to about 3,000 followers. And then it kind of stalled out. It wasn't doing much anymore. And I was going through some hard things in life. And that's something we can even talk about later. But I was going through some hard things in life. And the Instagram page kind of just fell away. I wasn't putting as much time into it and started losing some followers. And so I just kind of let it go because of situations in life. And I figured I would just let it be and move on from Word Dependent. And I haven't done anything with it really in the last several years. So as I'm walking through life recently, just in the last year, I felt God saying, or the Lord saying to me, build relationships. And I'm not a person that's interested really in building relationships most of the time. But I felt like I was hearing God on this. I prayed about it quite a bit, and build relationships. So I've started doing things, going out of my way really, to build relationships with people. And it hasn't been easy, but I have built some really good relationships with some men in my church. I've actually could say I've got some good friends. I don't think I could have ever said that in the past, probably outside of this year. But I have some good men that speak into my life. I'd call them friends. And I think that's pretty cool that the Lord gave me those relationships. And in the same time has given my wife relationships with their wives. So it's really an excellent thing that the Lord has done there. But I'm digressing. Let me get out of that rabbit hole. So we started building relationships, and I've been just kind of going through and doing that. I got involved with some things at our church that would force me to have to talk to people and get to know people, and it's been really, really good. And then really recently, in the last couple months, I felt like I'm supposed to take up this Word Dependent thing again, and I was like, I really don't want to, and I was kind of fighting God on it, and I'm just like, I've been down that road, it's not worth the time, and I had all the excuses, you know how that goes, and just kind of being apprehensive about it and procrastinating. And even this morning, recording this first episode here, I've been dragging my feet for probably about a week, and I just figured, you know what, I woke up and I heard the Lord saying, get to this. So that's what we're doing right now. We're getting to it. I guess I felt, as I prayed about it, I felt that it was supposed to be a podcast. I like to talk to people. I'm getting to the point where I like to talk to people, and I really like to talk to people about Jesus and about the Bible. So that's what we're going to do with this podcast. What you can expect is interviews from Christians that are walking out their faith, and we're going to talk about what they've been doing and or what they have done that have made their relationship with God better, deeper, and stronger, and how they got to where they are. People are always in different stages of life, but I'm going to try to find people that are going to encourage you to walk with the Lord, and I will have people on here that will be guests that will help you answer questions from a biblical perspective. If you're a person that is just new to the Christian faith and you've got questions that you don't understand, I've got a really good friend from an organization that does exactly that, and we're willing to take your questions and answer them. We have, if you look at our Anchor page, which I'm recording this podcast on Anchor, and we've got a page there. You can leave us a message, or if you want to go to our Instagram page, Word Dependent, you can leave us a message there, or DM us there, or however you want to get it to us. We would be more than happy to take your questions and try to help you work through what you're wrestling with. So finally, I hope that you would listen regularly. I would love for you to be a part of this community as we journey through life together, and we'll seek God's will on this together. And I just thank you for taking the time to listen today. Have a great day.